Welcome to Fun Day Monday, September 2024. Now, normally I have my assistant for 20 plus years, Elisa Thomas, that helps me with Fun Day Monday, but this time she's out of town on a cruise. So lucky her. So I'm actually going to be talking to you a little bit about the quiz question and answer today. And anyway, this one was really a lot of fun, and I just wanted to share it with you on video because um, it's really, really inspiring to hear when somebody is over the top talented. So this month's quiz question is, how old was Mozart when he delivered his first composition? So most of you got it right. Obviously it's not A because A was 35 years old, and that's actually when he passed away. He passed away at a very young age. And then B was 15. He was already doing a ton of stuff by the time he was 15, so he'd already written a lot of composition at that point. And C was 3. Now, he wasn't quite that young when he started and did his first composition, but it was D when he was 5 years old. It's so incredible. I'd love to hear about this. How many 5-year-olds have you have known that have were that accomplished at 5? Not very many, probably, right? So Mozart went on to become one of the greatest composers of the classical period. And the early realization of his abilities allowed him the time to create more than 600. Now, there was another spot in my research that said he did more than 800 works, but despite an early death at age 35, whether it was 600 or 800, it really doesn't matter because he composed so many wonderful. Just go to like YouTube and type in Mozart's top compositions, or just go check it out. And there's some really cool ones I was listening to yesterday, and it's like, oh man, that was him. I recognize a lot of his music. And it might be interesting to you to know that his full name was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And he was actually born January 27th, 1756 through December 5th, 1791. So that long ago, his music is still affecting us today in 2024. It's just amazing to me. So it was actually a prolific and influential composer of the classical period. Despite his short life, as we mentioned, his rapid pace of composition resulted in all of those compositions, up to 800 anyway, we'll say it that way, representing virtually every Western classical genre of his time. Many of these compositions are acknowledged as pinnacles of the symphonic, chamber, operatic, and chorale repertoire. So Mozart is widely regarded as one of the greatest composers of the history of the Western music, with his music admired for its melody, beauty, its formal elegance, and its richness of harmony and texture. Now, you guys, like, I have to tell you that when I was in my early years, before a teenager, and during when I was a teenager, and even when I was in my 20s and 30s, I just had really no idea of how great somebody like this is as far as composing music. And I so much more appreciate this kind of stuff more now than I ever have before. And it's so fun to have this Fun Day Monday quiz question about Mozart. So, a couple more facts about Mozart, then I want to go into some other stuff. He was born in Salzburg, and Mozart showed the ability from his earliest childhood, this wonderful ability At age 5, he was already competent on the keyboard and the violin. He had begun to compose and he performed before European royalty. So there's some more to the story, and I'm going to leave the rest of the story for you to do some research on if you're interested in learning more about Mozart. I have to tell you that his life was amazing. The very short life of 35 years was absolutely incredible. When you read about his history, and it's, you know, how it's so easy to find history on people. So do a little study on Mozart. I think you'll be fascinated. Listen to some of his music as you do the study, and you'll just be amazed. And hopefully it'll be something that inspires you to be the best at what God-given talent you have. And I know that I am working so hard at going the extra mile and with my talents that God has given me. And I just love it. I love that the talents that I have. And sometimes it's hard to find those talents that you have, but when you do, you should just go deep with them. That's my inspiration for you today. Now, regarding the contest, I have to tell you that this Fun Day Monday was emailed on Labor Day. And we didn't get quite as much response because a lot of people were on vacation or on holiday, and you were out and about doing your things, and you didn't, the last thing you probably wanted to do was do email. But I know that some of you love Fun Day Monday so much that even though it came out on Labor Day, you wanted to play the game because you love trivia and we have a friendship. And because of those two things, I'm just going to read off some of these wonderful people that I know and that have played this game for years. And these are the people that played even on Labor Day. Rick Bean, Deb Taylor, Diane Mayer, Wade Hansey, Ralph Albee, Kathy Chandler. Thanks for playing, Kathy. Paul Erstaler, and Paul's in my neighborhood. He's a great guy. Vance and Larry Sample used to live in my neighborhood, and we're still friends. Jeff Mercer, super friend from church. Gary and Carol Messick, friends for decades since I lived in the old Woodmar area. Thanks for playing. Joe Garco, one of my good friends and neighbors, and Adam Thomas. He's the son of Elisa Thomas, my assistant. So thanks for playing, Adam. And Kay Harrison, who's a wonderful friend. Love her so much. Chris Wiley, who's on an amazing adventure in her life right now. Kathy Strange, love her and her family. Friends from high school, even her brother. Friends from high school. Paul Stratman, just had a great transaction with Paul and his wife. Joanne Fregnoli, good friend, good friend. Phil Larimore, good bicycling buddy friend of mine for many years. Barbara Bliss, Barb Fitzsimmons, love you, Barb. And Randy Swan, longtime friendship now for many decades. Lori Oswald and Scott Collins. And yesterday, when I did this recording, it didn't turn out quite right, so I had to redo the recording. I already did the drawing yesterday from all of these pieces of paper, all of the 25 people that played on Labor Day. Brandon Palmer was the winner. Good friend Brandon Palmer was in my neighborhood before the neighborhood that I live in now in Woodmar. And his parents lived in that neighborhood, and hoping to help him with some stuff here coming up soon, and excited, always excited to be a part of these people's lives. And thanks for playing Fun Day Monday for September. And please don't keep me a secret, and keep going deep with your talents. and just shine away with those talents that God gave you. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Have a wonderful day and have a great rest of September. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the fall that's coming up. See you later. Bye bye.